Hi, I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Jess, and this is Financial Progress.
Before we begin, just want to give a little disclaimer that this is just a conversation between friends. This is not financial advice. Please seek the help of a financial professional before making any financial decisions. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we're diving into a topic that a lot of families wrestle with: financial transparency with kids and how to balance teaching them about hard work while also providing financial support.
This is going to be juicy because no matter where your family falls on the financial spectrum, parents want to set up their kids for success, right? But how much should they help, and when does helping become enabling?
Exactly. So if your family is wealthy, should they cover or partially cover your college tuition? And if money is tighter, what are some other ways that parents can still support their kids financially? So we're digging into all of that today.
So let's start with financial transparency. A lot of us grew up in homes where money wasn't really discussed, which can lead to confusion or even like financial anxiety later in life.
Yes, and being open with your kids about money, age appropriately, of course, helps
Mhm.
them understand how finances work. And that could mean showing them a simplified version of your household budget, explaining why you prioritize saving, or even talk about mistakes you've made and what you learned along the way.
And then for wealthier families, this is especially important. Kids who grow up with financial security might not understand the value of money unless it's actively taught. So, having conversations about earning, saving, and just being responsible with spending is key.
Yes. And a big part of raising financially responsible kids is making sure they understand the connection between work and money. That could mean encouraging part time jobs, giving them an allowance tied to chores, or having them contribute to their own expenses in some form of a way.
Mhm. And work doesn't just have to be a traditional job. Teaching kids how to budget an allowance, invest in a small amount of money, or even start a small business can all help build financial responsibility.
Yes. And the goal is to give them a solid financial foundation so they're prepared for the real world, regardless of your family's wealth or financial situation.
So, one of the questions that comes to mind is like, should wealthy parents pay for their kids' education? This could be a big debate. If a family has the means to cover tuition, should they? Or should kids have some skin in the game?
Yes, and I think it depends on the family's values. So some parents might want their kids to graduate debt free, while others believe that having some financial responsibility, whether through part time work, scholarships, or student loans, teaches them accountability.
Mhm. And then one option is like the middle ground, right? Maybe parents will cover tuition, but the student pays for their own books, rent, or other expenses. Or they can match whatever the kids earn to encourage them to work while still providing support.
Yes, and for families who aren't in a position to fully fund college, there are other ways you can help, like guiding kids towards scholarships, community college for the first 2 years, or setting up a 529 plan as early as possible. Those are all
Mhm.
super important.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me and brings me back to myself because, you know, we grew up in an underserved community. My parents didn't have the means financially. And when I looked up tuition costs back in 2002, it was still pretty high, right? So I decided to go the community college route. It was a cheaper option. And, I was, since my parents were low income, I was able to get some type of financial aid, and then like student loans covered the rest. So that was like that worked out well. I mean, I still got student loans, but it worked out well. But I always I try to picture if my parents were wealthier, what would they do? And I would think that they would want to cover everything because of where how they grew up and they didn't have the means to go to college. So I feel like if they had the means financially that they would have provided. My goal now, like for my kids, is I want to try to cover as much as possible and then, you know, let them do the rest, whatever that they can do.
Hmm.
There's they have like a college program. They don't have a free program, but they have like a college program where if they take some college courses, and they pass it while they're in high school, they'll reimburse us like this, like a third. Hmm, actually, maybe it's like a quarter of the amount, which is not so. Like if a class is like 400 and something dollars, they'll give us back like 150. So I had told them, I was like, if we signed you up for this, I wouldn't mind covering it. As long as they pass the class, we'll get that reimbursement.
Mhm.
And just take it from there. Especially if it's something that we want them to do at the same time, why not help them? Why not help cover that? We know what it's like. So, but
Mhm.
anyway, I'm going like off tangent over here. But
No, that's great points, and, me, myself, like, I don't have children, but I could imagine, like, I would wanna help them as much as possible in that area
Mhm.
because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to have student loan debt, and it sucks, you know? Some people's student loan debt is as much as a mortgage or a rent payment.
Mhm.
So, as long as you can help them in some kinda way, and yeah, I think that's super important.
You know what? And then this is, I probably should have said this before, but like if you're a wealthier family, they most likely should have like created like a 529 plan
Yeah.
when the child is born, or like when they had the means financially to do so to help them.
Mhm.
So yeah, some
Yeah.
people are just stingy. Okay. Um,
Think you referred back to
yeah,
our last episode.
I'm just like, it's all coming back like in circle. Like, why?
Resurfacing trauma.
Yeah.
I think you have some
Crap.
trauma from that last episode,
I
Jess.
do. I do. Okay. So anyway, even if you can't afford to fully fund your child's education or give them a financial head start, there are plenty of ways to support them without just handing them the money.
Exactly. Teaching them good financial habits is one of the biggest gifts you can ever give. Helping them open a Roth IRA with their first job, showing them how to budget, or encouraging them to start saving early will have a lifelong impact.
Mhm. And then parents can offer non-financial support too, like letting their kids live at home while they save for their first apartment or helping them navigate financial aid and student loans. That's
Yes.
that's actually my parents. So my mom never charged me rent while
Hmm.
I was there, and I was still going to school full time. So that helped tremendously because whatever money I did have, I was able to use for like books and stuff, and like my cell phone, my car bill, like stuff like that. So that's a tremendous help.
Definitely. And plus, things like setting up a UTMA or UGMA account early can also give kids a financial boost when they reach adulthood. Even small contributions can add up over time.
So what's the takeaway here? It's all about balance. Balance. That's our word, balance.
Balance.
We want to teach kids the value of money and hard work while also giving them the tools to succeed.
Yes, and that looks differently for every family. The key is to be intentional about the lessons you're teaching and to have open conversations about money.
Hmm. Absolutely. And whether you're helping your child graduate debt free or just making sure they know how to budget, the goal is to prepare them for a financially stable future.
Yes, and we'd love to hear from you. So, how do you handle financial transparency with your kids? Let us know on social media.
Yes. And if you were interested where this came from, we released the AITA Reddit story based on keeping financial situations from your children. And it was just like very deep and sad at the same time. And we just wanted to share this information with you guys.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe and send us any episode requests.
Yes. Thank you for listening. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.